for the Education Circle. I've been a member for 10 years, and this is Nikisha Kendall, who's been my partner in crime as co-lead of the IZone project for the last 3 years. We're here tonight to talk a little bit about what we learned, share some stories about the change makers that's inspired us over the last 3 years, and then talk about what's next. So we're an unusual grant project. We started 3 years ago as an inquiry, and we're a homegrown project and a homegrown team. We partnered early on with the County Office of Education in San Mateo County to look at the question of how do we build regional innovation so that our education system can deliver the kind of learning that our students need for today's world. Our inquiry was a question of how can we customize learning? How can we customize everything else in our lives? How can we be building a fleet of drones for Amazon to deliver things to our door in the next hour, and yet still deliver a one-size-fits-all education system that's not really preparing our students for the lives that they're going up into? And so we wanted to answer that question. How do we customize learning, and how do we personalize learning for our students? So throughout the 3 years, our project has included many members of you here in the audience. Probably, I didn't even count all of them, but over 30 members have been able to participate. And Nikisha's gonna help me in calling out a couple of them.
Lindsay Smalling, Megan, Jonathan, Karen, Greg, Vivian, Elizabeth, Steve Shotland.
And many, many more.
Many, many more.
And then on the county office side, we had at least probably 10 core members and 30 members of their time over the 3 years as well. And some of the projects that we worked on were initially partnering with the design school at Stanford and looking at a human-centered approach to redesigning our school system. So we ran design challenges, which people participated in. We worked on redesigning schools and new school models. What does this new model of learning look like? It's hard to do that at scale, so first you start by doing that in very small spaces. How to create space within our school system for change makers and innovators, which is a hard thing in our school system. So our initial inquiry and the work that we've been doing this year is really around test beds. It's around how to help teachers select a problem that they're working on with their students, and how do they find a solution, potentially a tech solution, that could help them with that. One of our schools picked a problem of, it's called differentiation in education. They have a very wide range of students, from those who are just learning some of the basic concepts to some who really need to be challenged at very high levels. A 5th grade that is really working on still place value, and then students yesterday that I saw working on pretty sophisticated algebra. How does the teacher challenge each of those students? And so we brought in some technology to help them, and they're going through an inquiry process to see, did that technology change their practice? Did it help them meet more students' needs? And what was the experience in the classroom to learn from? So that's the what we call the test bed work that we're working on now. So early on, our inquiry was how do we build this regional model of innovation so that the Bay Area can be participating in this worldwide transformation. Quickly we realized that the problem is really how do we personalize learning. That every student now could get on-demand learning and every student's needs could be met, but our system isn't delivering that. So that became the challenge that we have been working on. And we are going to introduce a little bit tonight about the change makers that are working on this problem. So another key learning, which we hope to share, and that we also hope will inform, like some of the impact from the work that we have done, we hope will inform the future grant making for Full Circle Fund. We hope that it'll impact members' lives and the work that they choose to pursue. And we also hope that it will pull together the funding community around this mission of personalizing learning and make sure that everybody knows that this reality is possible. I think a lot of what we've experienced is that people still don't, it's not just that they don't know what to do, but they don't even believe that we have the ability within ourselves to do this. And we have 6 million kids in California that we want to reach with this new model of learning. So here you can see 4 of the change makers that you're going to meet tonight that have inspired us. Well, you're going to meet them through our words. One of them you get to meet in person. And the key agent of change, really, we all know, change happens at the site level. So it's really the school principal. If you want change to happen, it's the school principal that's going to make sure that that change can happen. And Nikisha is going to tell you about Marie, who is lady here, a principal in San Carlos.
Great, so this is Marie sitting here at her desk, smiling at us. And what's really inspirational about Marie and her journey in personalization is that it started with the teachers. So the teachers were really frustrated about their ability to meet the needs of the students who were performing really well and also the students who were not doing so well. And they were frustrated. And they came to her with this frustration, and she saw that as her window or her opportunity to introduce personalized learning. And they realized that they were going to need to do a complete change in their teaching practice. They realized that they were going to need more technology in the classroom. So fast forward 2 months later, the teachers are still frustrated, but for completely different reasons. So they picked a number of technology tools to work with, and one tool in particular, they were having trouble with the tool wasn't adaptive enough. And they were trying to figure out, well, how is it going to really help our students and solve this need? And so they came to Marie with this frustration again, and she was so excited that they made this transition in thought process of how they were thinking through problems.
So Marie couldn't do her work at the site level if she wasn't supported by a school system and a school district that allowed her to take on this bold vision and build a new school with a new school model. So the second kind of key person we want to introduce you to is Nancy McGee, who is the assistant superintendent in the San Mateo Court and Community Schools. She is completely redesigning the, I see we're getting the sign here and we're halfway through because Nikisha and I did not practice how many minutes 5 was. I will hand the microphone over to Nikisha, who can at least introduce Brian, who is here in the back of the room filming us, so that she can make the ask of what's next.
All right, so one of my favorite change makers on our project was Brian Simmons, who was one of the leaders of the IZone work and helped design and build the Center for Learning Analytics, which drives all of the personalization that's happening on the ground with classrooms. And Brian is starting a new role at the San Mateo Union High School District, where he's going to take everything that he's learned in building the Center for Learning Analytics and implementing that. And all of your demo dollars will go towards supporting Brian and his work, and he can tell you all the exciting things that you're doing. And final thing, in the next phase of the IZone journey, one of the things we realized is that we need a bigger umbrella for this work, that educators cannot do this work alone and in isolation, or even with the help of a few committed funders like the Wesley Foundation and Full Circle Fund and the Gates Foundation, who all contributed to the IZone work. We need a bigger umbrella and more community partners to support students in this journey towards personalization. So we'd love to get your talents and support and speak to Kim or I later and help us, please. Thank you.